Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the second section, okay, and the first video in the second section. In this section we are going to be looking at the types of sequence that we have. Okay, now what are the different types of sequence we have? Now if you recall, in the previous video we gave these different types, these different examples as sequence, but each of these I have here have a particular name. Okay, they come from a particular class of sequence. Now take note, the types I'm going to give us in this video, they are not the only types we have when it comes to sequences. There are a whole lot of other types. Now in this first case we have this sequence. When you multiply this by a number, you get this. You multiply it by that same number, you get this. Multiply by that same number in this case, which is 3, you're going to get this. This kind of sequence is called a geometric or an exponential sequence. We also call that a proportion. And this is where you see that term GP. So GP simply means geometric progression. Sorry. Okay, so we call that a progression, geometric progression. That's what you call GP. In this case, you have 3, you have minus 3, 3 minus 3. You can see what you have here is kind of repetitive. It is what you call a periodic or an alternating sequence. Now it is alternating because the signs are changing. Okay, from plus is changing to minus, from minus is changing to plus. That's why you call it alternating. But it is periodic because it is, the sequence is actually repeating. So from 3 minus 3, you still have 3 minus 3, 3 minus 3. That's what you call a periodic or an oscillatory sequence. Okay, so take note, alternating because the signs between consecutive terms changes. Periodic because the values you have here are actually repeating. In the third case, you have 5, 8, 11. You're adding 3 to this to get this, add 3 to this to get this. Or you say difference between any two terms is a constant. When the difference between any two terms is a constant, that's called an arithmetic or a linear sequence, or you also call it a progression. And this is where the term comes in, AP, that's arithmetic progression. You can guess this by now. Since the terms are the same all through, we call that a constant sequence. So this fourth one is called a constant sequence. This we have here, 3 minus 6, 4, 12 minus 24. Multiply this by 2, you get this. Multiply this by 2, you get this. Multiply this by 2, you're still going to get it. Minus 2, rather. When you multiply by minus 2, you get these terms. So if you can guess, from what we've seen so far, this one should be the same thing as the geometric sequence. So that's what we call it. It's geometric and it's alternating. Now it is alternating because from plus you have minus, minus you have plus, plus you have minus. That's where the term alternating comes in. Geometric because you have to multiply the previous term by a particular term to get the next term. So this we are going to take as a topic on its own. It has a whole section for itself, the geometric sequence. The same thing, the arithmetic sequence also have a section for itself. So we are going to discuss this two in two separate sections. Then the last one is having a pattern, the same pattern with this. It is repeating 3, 4, 3, 4. And remember what we call that? We call that, for the fact that it's repeating, that it is periodic or oscillatory. And that's what we have in this case. That's called a periodic or oscillatory sequence. Okay, so that's a general overview of these different kinds of sequence we have here. And like I said, we have a whole lot of other types of sequence. So in the next video we are going to be looking at some examples on some other general kinds of sequences. Okay, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright.